Is it important to keep your word with
important.
income property?
It is important to keep your word. You got to do what you say you're going to do, good or bad, you know. And if something else comes up, that's fine or whatever. Just don't promise anything. I mean, this is important as an agent and as an investor or whatever. But if you say, I'm going to buy your property X, Y, and Z, then buy your property if it fulfills those requirements, because other sellers are going to know whether or not you're a person of your word, and other agents are going to know whether or not you're a person of your word. So that's hugely important. The other thing is you got to keep your word on the bad side too. I am not going to buy your property if this comes to place. Then don't buy it, because then the other agent or the other sellers will know. No, I mean, if he says it doesn't do this, then he's not going to buy it. And your reputation is very, very important when it comes to the kind of deals that you can make.
And I'd say the number one advantage that I've had, and its reputation, keeping your word, is when we're in a rising market like we are in Chatham. We had a home that I was bidding on that the family wanted to sell. The parents were being moved into a retirement home, and so the family wanted to sell it. And they had multiple offers. My offer, I think, was $100,000, but whatever it was is $100,000, and I would close in 3 weeks. They had 2 offers over 120 that were, I've got to go to the bank, and then I've got to go through due diligence, and I have to do these things. And ultimately, my lower offer was accepted by the seller's agent because their broker said to them, he has the money, it's a cash offer, he buys these properties all the time, there's not going to be any surprises as long as you have good title to the property. That has allowed me to invest in a way that, I can't overemphasize the importance of that. Mm-hmm. I say I'm going to buy it, I give the time frame I'm going to buy it, and I do so. And as long as you do that, it's important. But also it's important, like Eric said, if you say that you're going to only buy a property under certain conditions, well, then you'd better not go back on your word, because there is a poker game going on here. Mm-hmm. And the poker game is not where you say, you're holding a bluff and then you show all your cards and they find out you were bluffing. Your bluff can't exist. They have to know you're telling the truth. So if I say, I will not pay $1 more than $90,000 for this property, don't then go to 92, mm-hmm. because that will become your reputation. Mm-hmm. And mm-hmm. Make an honest offer, make a solid offer, make an offer where the math works, but then stick with your offer and stick with your word.
Well, we've had offers on the back burner where we made an offer. Mm-hmm. It was what the client believed that was too low. We said, we understand that you think it's too low. Give it full exposure to the market. This is a standing offer. If when you expose it to the market, you don't get that dream price that you have,
right,
we're the fallback position, and that's helped you as well.
That is correct. I have 2 rental homes right now where I made an offer. The offer sat out there, and again, we were very frank and very honest, so we didn't anger the seller. We said, look, I think it's worth 100, you think it's worth 150, but I'll be here in 2 months. And after 2 months, I'm going to buy something else, but take 2 months, try to sell it, and if you don't, call me back. And 2 of those properties I now rent out and bought it for what I said I would buy them for. Mm-hmm. And that way you don't insult the seller by undercutting what they believe it to be worth. Mm-hmm. And you stick to the math you need to stick with to make it work.